俺は元気なんで、じゃあ
わざわざ寄ってあげたんだからお茶くらい出しなさいよ。それとも人に見せられないひどい部屋なのかしら。
Wow, my God. What's going on, boys and girls? Dom Otaku Room here. You know, we cover anime. I just got done watching Chuuhai Lips, and oh my God. So originally, when I had discovered this show, I saw a trailer or clip on Twitter, right? And then when we were going over what anime we're going to watch this season, and I'll read the summary to you. You know, this is set up for a multi-episode season. One, I didn't realize this was going to be shorts. So the moment I saw that it was like 4 or 5 minutes, I was like, oh my gosh, okay. But the summary or synopsis says, Tsuyushi, a 22-year-old third-year student, spends his days juggling classes and his food delivery job with a can of strong chuuhai. And I looked it up. Chuuhai is basically like a tall can, like a Four Locos, like something like that. It's like a wine spritzer. It's like a wine cooler kind of thing. Basically, you know, it's like a tall boy you get at the gas station, right? 8, 9, 10% alcohol. It's a decent drink, fruity drink that kids would drink. So it makes sense. With Strong's chuuhai always in reach, so he has a chuuhai addiction. Living alone in a small apartment, his mundane routine takes an unexpected turn when he finds himself entangled with Yui Kuriyama, a married woman he's admired since childhood. What begins as an innocent connection soon escalates into something far more intimate, blurring the lines between longing, desire, and morality. Set against a backdrop of quiet nights and stolen moments, this risque yet comedic tale explores the thrill of complications and illicit romance. Now, here's the deal. I knew this was going to be ecchi, and I knew this was going to be, pushing some boundaries. And here I was like, okay, this is going to be like a ecchi comedy of, kind of like, what if the Rent-A-Girlfriend character got laid and it was actually funny? That's what was in my mind as I was kind of reading through, and I saw little snippets of trailers and stuff. I couldn't find a legit trailer, but like little snippets and stuff. I was like, oh, okay. What I didn't know was this was going to be a straight up hentai. Like, I watched it, and basically what ends up happening is this kid goes in, and he's getting home or whatever, and his auntie comes and checks on him at his home because his mom is worried about him. So because mom's is worried about him, she comes in and, she checks on the kid, and she was like, oh, okay. I want to make sure that your mom sent me. I want to make sure that, you're doing what you're supposed to be, and you're being like the best college student that you can be, et cetera, et cetera. And she ends up barging her way into his room, to go and check on making sure that he's doing what he's supposed to. And as she comes in, bro cracks a little bit of the chuuhai. He starts, guzzling a little bit of it down. But then auntie, that's the kicker, right? This is his mother's sister-in-law. But this is still his aunt, someone who's been around since he's been a kid. She's like, oh no, let me get a little bit of that. You're a brokey college student. She glug. She begins drinking with him, and she gets a little drunk. Now, apparently, she has a streak about her to where, when she throws a few back, she gets a little, a little friendly. And that ends up happening, and eventually, he stares a little bit of this, there's a little bit of that. He's like, I've always liked him. And she was like, oh, you want to touch a little bit? So a touch turns into a feel, and then they're both a little bit drunk, and they enter into some actions, okay? So it ends up being straight hentai, and everything that you can imagine happens. And they show it all as well, too, which I was definitely not prepared for. Again, I have no problems with it, right? If you like hentai, that's your thing. Hey, more power to you. But the thing that I was disappointed in was there was no comedy. Like, nothing about it was funny. It was just straight a boy's fantasy about, his auntie or whatever. And now what I can see on the wall what's going to end up happening is there's going to be more illicit situations with Auntie and potentially other girls as well too that all center and revolve around the Chuuhai stuff, which again is totally fine if I entered it wanting to watch some hentai. That's not it's not my cup of tea. No problem with it. Hey, I've seen a few, you know what I mean? It's not exactly something that I seek out often, but no shame on anybody who does, but it just caught me off guard. And Auntie guzzles it with the best guzzler. That's all I'm going to say. So good luck to everybody watching Chuuhai Lips. This is a one and done for me. Good thing is, just like their actions, it was over pretty quick. It was only a 4.5-minute episode, so at least the investment is short. But if this is something that you enjoy, if this is your thing, I think you're in for a good one. Because it'll probably have a good rotation of ladies that have come in and stuff. But unfortunately, if you were looking for like an actual show that has some comedy and stuff with just, maybe some explicits, it doesn't look like this is going to be it. So, yeah. Anyways, Chuuhai Lips, definitely a show. Not what I was expecting, but regardless, I think it's going to appeal to the audience it's going to appeal to. If you watched it, let me know your comments down below. If you're thinking about it, let me know your comments down below. I will not be back for Chuuhai Lips, but this was one that, I said I was going to cover, and by golly, here I am. I covered it. So we'll see you guys on another show as summer anime continues to unfold. Peace.